What is up? New environment, new office, new everything, new me. Just started renting a new office. It's just a small, not a cubicle, but yeah, just a perfect size, I would say, for like one man show. And it is in this, maybe I've talked about it before, but it's just kind of like this business center. So there's 50 companies here, maybe a little bit more. There's a lot of big ones, which is maybe in a way interesting, but also not so much, because usually they already have marketing, literally people who are marketeers, like employees, not even agencies. That's how big some of these are, and they're a lot in the industry, like industry. So we'll see how it goes. I'm having like a two-month period where I'll just see if it's worth it or not. But the main thing for me, I actually thought it was only networking, but now that I've been here 2 days, it's been super productive. I've went to the gym 6:30, came here at 7, a little bit past 7, and just stayed until 5, 2 days in a row now. So, and this is maybe the third day, so it's kind of crazy. But the main thing in a way, when I first thought about doing this, was definitely networking, just to show my face as a not Norwegian living in Norway, like a foreigner. Not that they're racist, but I just know how different it is for me, because mainly, for example, when I cold call, or when I kind of come cold into any conversation, or if I visit people cold, the first impression is a little bit like, who is this guy, And I do speak Norwegian fluently, but it's very different when you have like a little accent and the grammar is not 100% on point. And then you having conversations maybe okay, but then closing them and trying to sell a high price tickets to people that, first of all, don't really know you. Second of all, I don't trust you, which is okay. It's the first meeting. So having this network here is going to be very important in that case, where I can have references to people and people can reference to me, because they've seen me, they know who I am. And that's kind of like the whole play. Already now there was one on my floor, and there's a guy who just has a graphic design agency. I would say a little bit more the old school, very printing, classic logo design, a lot of digital as well, but he said he'd done this for 4 years, so he definitely transitioned from old school to a little bit more modern. So very interesting to see. And I already talked to him, and it was super interesting already, like, hey, maybe we can help each other out. And I was like, sure, because I do graphic design, but I don't do it, I outsource it. And this way it could be like a close outsource, and we can switch customers. That's the whole point of this networking point. What I'm planning on doing is also holding a workshop. I was talking to a woman who owns like a business network where a lot of these companies are under, but also more than only this hub. And I said, I kind of want to do a workshop so we can test out how many people will show up and see if I can do a good enough job in Norwegian and to convey interesting messages. And it's going to be very interesting for myself too, because you kind of have to sit down and write presentations and kind of write something on paper and visualize for yourself, so before you can present it, obviously, because I want to transform this in an online funnel. So that's kind of where I think it's interesting, that I can have to make something physically to perform it, but then I'll take that content and cook a little bit different, put it into a live funnel, so you can do national ads, I guess. So that's interesting that I'm thinking about. But I kind of want to start for the small scale, you can call it, here, because maybe 5 people show up, but that's okay, because it's interesting. 5 enough. If I get 5 clients here, it's already super worth it. So cool. Also, on that regard, there's an intern starting. It's just a family member who studied branding and marketing, and in Oslo, and now she moved back. But there's no, I would say, work here. I would say, but there literally is no work, because there's work, but not in branding and marketing. And even in the big city, which is the bigger city close by, 1.5 hour drive, even there it's really scarce, you can say. So she just asked me if she could start an internship. It's going to be very local, like she's not going to even show up every day. We can just see when she comes. But I think it's very interesting because I have Agape and I have my agency where I can then try different things and see how that can fit in. One thing, for example, that I've wanting to try is offering photo and film to my clients as well, because with most clients, when I make websites, they have zero content. And a good website, a lot of a good website is a nice picture video. So being able to provide that as a service when I sell a website that I can upsell that as well is super amazing, because I've seen that definitely makes a difference. So I kind of want to try to start just, I email 2 or 3 clients and say, hey, let's try this for free. And then I can just understand how much time it takes, the process behind it, and just a little bit tweak it a little bit so I know how to do it. And also that you get better, because I'm pretty trash. She's not a professional. She's tried things for fun, but that's it. So it's very interesting to see. Next one is 2 American clients. We just signed 2 American clients for the American agency, the partnership I have there. And honestly, that's picking up a little bit. We're just getting referrals. We were running ads, but we paused a long time ago. Now it's just my partner is going to literally to a pickup club, and there is picking everyone up actually in a matter of sense. So very cool to see, because these are big boy players, like 100 million in revenue and worth, and then the business that we will work with them is not that revenue, but the guy owning it is, and that's what we're talking to. So just getting into that network is very interesting. Another interesting point I wanted to show is that Agape, for some reason, got like an extra boost. We're posting, but it's very interesting to see, because this is my top performing reel right now. Yesterday it was at around 700, and then in one day it doubled. So it took 2-3 weeks of getting to 700k, which is already, I was flabbergasted that it even was getting that crazy. And then it doubled within a day, which I don't even understand the algorithm in that way, because of course it's still new content, but it's still like older content. And I never thought it could get that boost after like a 2 week or 2. I know if there's, let's say, a trend that kind of it catches that wave, but this is just, I would say, just a standalone reel. No trend, no people are influencing this whatsoever. So by itself, it's only doubled by the algorithm picking up again. So that was very interesting for me to see. That's basically it. I don't have any more conclusion from it. It's just very interesting to see that it can happen like 2 weeks after. So very interesting to see, because then I can, now I said very interesting to see many times, but it is very interesting to see. So we'll keep it at that, because now I feel like, hey, maybe this one will pop off in a week or 2 again, because this was the initial one that did very well. This was the second one, and it was catching up to this one. So I would say a day ago they were like suddenly even though this was like a week post a week later. So it's just a lot of thoughts, and it was just very interesting to see. And now I see that my profile is 3.4 million views. That's just nuts for me, because when we started a little bit more on content, we started with 300 followers, so and maybe 1,000 views, maybe less. So very cool to see, and my editor is doing a good job. Another interesting point I wanted to show, because I got this report now that I went to the gym, is an overview of my consistency at the gym. Very cool to see. I never even, like I said earlier in the video when I started talking about this, that I never tracked. So now I actually have a tracking system, and it's crazy to see, because this is August, this is September, and actually the crazy thing is we started this week, so this is a full week as well. I just didn't have the app yet, but we were going every day then as well. So this month would have been so clean, but whatever, doesn't matter. September, I was actually on vacation in this week, so honestly we did like hikes and quick short things, so I registered them as workouts, because man, I was sore after those hikes. And then I did an extra day here, so we'll put it there. And then it's a little bit more messy, but I try to sometimes like make it up on Saturdays for the days I missed. October, in the other hand, it's a little bit more, it's harder, it's getting much harder to go and stand up and in a way be motivated, because me and the guy going actually said the same thing. It's almost getting a little boring. So you do the same exercise, the same thing, which is very consistent, but I definitely understand how crazy it is to keep up for years, and some people do, and then you see the results, and then it also makes you again understand why it's a hard thing to do, and why not a lot of people can do it for a longer time. Which is, when you start this, it's already hard to wake up early and go every day. Like in this month, it's like, but you're a little bit in this boost, and you're in the flow, and it's been a while. Like I said, all the exercises are new, because not the bench press is new, but like it's been a while since you done it, and you go up in weight and everything. And now it's weight is the same. Maybe one time you try like 2 kilos extra on an exercise. It's like, oh yeah. Like this week we were breaking personal records every session we went, and then now it's very much like it was like this, and I was like this. So it's very mental. And honestly, this week is the first week ever I missed like two, I think already 3 trainings. So I definitely have to go tomorrow to make up for that. A reason of that, not that I actually want to give excuses, because that's bullshit, but I just started the office thing, and I had meetings very late. Like I said, I stayed till 5, and then I came home, did things, and then had 2 more meetings where we closed the American client. So it's very hard to then wake up the next day, because you kind of feel like, okay, I worked the whole day and I kind of want to sleep in a little bit, like 1 hour extra, and then you kind of miss the gym. So it is what it is, but that's just, it was cool to see. To be honest, kind of proud of myself watching this. So yeah, very cool to see. And it was for me like a very practical thing of just try and see where it goes, and then you'll see. And of course, this is another example of that. So improvement every day, 1% every day. Read Atomic Habits if you don't know what I'm talking about. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.